All right. Hello, what's up, YouTube? It's been a while. Terrencem back here. And today I got some Neow blessing stats for you guys. I've been doing a coding bootcamp uh, based on like data analysis, and I've been working with some of my Slip Spire data to practice. And now that I have that, I can get like a more like full, complete look at my nail blessing choices, what's doing well, what am I like not really picking at all, and things like that, and just show you guys so you can get a more general look at things to pick and not pick. Of course, I don't have insane sample sizes as far as number of gameplays played. It is still like 150 on the lower end, which is a good amount, but when you spread that over 37 different choices, it can definitely lead to some lower numbers that aren't super reliable. So definitely want to bring that up before we get into it. Like, this is just a general guideline. This is not a definitive pick this thing. Maybe as we get more into, once we get to Defect, that is definitely a much bigger sample size. I played a ton of Defect. With like 3 samples back to back. I have like over double Defect games compared to the other characters for this time. Also, this is sorted by patch 2.2 and after. 2.2 is the big patch where reprogram became an actual card instead of being useless. As far as upgrades goes, where like Silent got the Blade Dance upgrades and the other attack upgrades, and like attacks became more viable, and Ironclad got the upgrades. Watcher didn't really change at all, but so I don't think it's actually even sorted by 2.2 for Watcher. The only change would be just me being a bit better as a player because it would be later on. But yeah, let's get into it. First up, Ironclad. So here are my most picked Nail Blessings for Ironclad. Most being 27 random Common Relic, kind of all reliable across all characters. If you see it, you can just pick it, and it's pretty good. Just having a free relic, it's something that you start a combat with. If it's a combat relic, it's not something you have to like worry about drawing, so you kind of know that you'll get some amount of value from it. Sometimes you'll get like an Omori, and then you'll be in the heart fight, and it still has 2 charges, and you're like, what happened? But yeah, that happens sometimes. But for the most part, random common relic is definitely gonna be a pretty reliable pick. Why it's my most picked. 100 gold also is kind of within that realm, although you do kind of need a shop relatively early to want to pick it, which is why it's a bit lower. But when you have a shop, it's also pretty nice. And yeah, just overall pretty good. You might notice the random colorless being 2 and 5. I would not read too much into that. I think random colorless is a completely fine option. But like I was saying earlier, it's only 7 games. If you had a lot more games than it, I think it would balance out a lot better and be positive. But for now, it's the more negative win rate. Let's move on to what is performing best. What's winning the most? The strongest options got the flex there. So best performing is Rare Relic for 99 gold, 6 and 1. All these are X and 1 basically, with 7, 5, and 4 sample sizes. Again, 4 is not a huge number of games, but 100 gold, 7 and 3 is really respectable at 70% win rate. Definitely, Rare Relic is something I should look into a bit more. I can sometimes have a hardish time evaluating Rare Relic, especially against Common Relic. Rare Relic is can be extremely like high variant. You can get rare relics at the start of the run that do nothing to help you fight elites, and common relics can be a bit more reliable as far as like guaranteeing that they're doing at least something by the time that you're doing elites and stuff. Like if you don't have fires, there's like shovel and Gyria and things like that. Like even shovel, you can get to a fire, dig, and then get a brick. That doesn't do anything in the lead as well. So like trading that versus a upgrade that you know is helping you. So there's things like that, and there's also like turnip or something where it doesn't actually do anything at all in Act 1, which is why it can be a little bit sketchy for me. But really interested to see how this may go as I play some more Spire. May do some um just like a big quantity based sample, similar to like what Jorbs does sometimes, where he tries to win X amount of games in a month, or see how many games he can win in a month. Just do something where I'm like playing more games, get more data at some point. And onto the least pick. Is there ones I'm not picking very much at all? Why is it doing this? I don't know. But I guess it's fine. Um, I guess I messed up something with the slide. But yeah, least picked. Um, Upgrade. It's kind of whatever. Like it's something that you can pick. A bash upgrade's fine, but definitely not your first pick. Wave 2 for damage is also completely fine. It you kind of like other things too, but again, this is not like 150 games can seem like a lot, but it's really not that much when thinking about 37 different options. Random rare card. I will definitely say that the like percent HP bonus ones are pretty bad. I don't pick them on any character. Avoid those for sure. The curse downsides are pretty bad too. Random colorless is a 50-50 if you cannot utilize uh, anything but uh, Hand of Greed and Apotheosis. Sometimes the bomb too, but yeah, random colorless is extremely high variance, especially when attached to curse. Would not pick that up. Remove 2, gold's fine. Getting the 3, just choose a card option, 3 common. I do not do that. Like you get access to cards for free by just going to fights. You really don't need that option. Don't pick it. Let's move on to the silent. What am I most picked on the silent? Random common relic. Kind of a theme here. Full reliable. It's not doing particularly well here, but with a decent amount of games, so that's probably just the player diff, skill diff. It should be higher, I would say. Maybe not focusing enough on some of these runs. There's boss relic as well, which is something I would probably not do very much at all. If I played a ton of games, I think it'd be on the lower end for sure. If I had to play the same amount of games, I think it'd be close to the least pick. Like I think that you lose a lot of the benefits of cards like Slice, Masterful Stab, and Backstab, which are really powerful cards if you do boss swap. So I would avoid doing that, even though it's apparently my second most picked within this group of runs. Neow's Lament, pretty good. 80%, 8 and 2. Definitely can have some problems with early elite. So if you have a 70-30 to be able to snipe an elite, Neow's Lament is pretty sick. Another below 50% win rate with a bunch of picks, 250 gold for HP loss. That is kind of insane to me. I love 250 gold, which you'll see more once we get to Defect. But again, 8 games variance. You can say the same thing the other way around. Like Rare relic for gold is showing up here again, 6 and 1. I think that's pretty much the exact same as the Ironclad, but you could say it's variants that way too. Definitely just very general guidelines as to things that are good. Then there's 100 gold, all reliable, doing pretty well. And then rare cards for HP loss, percent like max HP loss. So that's doing pretty well too. Let's look at what's doing the best. Silent, so rare relic up there again for both Ironclad and Silent. Interesting. Neow's Lament up there too. Great. Lower sample sizes on the rare relic for damage and random rare card. 100 gold, doing well, although not a ton of games, and 3 rare cards as well. Okay, let's see what. Oh, spooky cards that you should be. I mean, not cards, blessings that you should be avoiding. Very scary. Stay away from them. Least pick. So yeah, the 20% HP bonus. Stay away from them. Not good. Their move twos are actually probably fine. I don't love taking damage on Silent at all, but remove 2 for gold's probably fine. It can be a little bit awkward if you're offered like remove or transform and then remove 2 for gold. So it's kind of like you're paying 99 gold for a remove, which you might not want to do, but Silent does start with the extra Silent does start with the extra base cards and extra strike and defend, so definitely something to think about. Again, don't pick 3 cards. You can get that for free. Percent damage options again. And just remove single. Doesn't feel insanely impactful, but it's not something I could never see myself picking in a situation. It's just, eh. Moving on. Robot. Now this is some pretty good data. I played a ton of Defect within this grouping. Played like 3 back to back, like 50 and 100 game sample sizes. I think 300 games or something in total from them. So we actually got a good amount of data here, as you can see. We got 81 boss swap games, sick, and 70 common relic, all reliable, showing up yet again. 100 gold's only at 50, which is interesting. Was a good amount of games. Now's Lament here again, doing well. And 3 rare cards for gold. Pick pretty often, not doing insane. What is doing the best for Defect? Oh, gold? Cultist? This is the cultist beta art from Wish. Where you're wishing for gold, and that's exactly what you're doing when you're playing Defect. Because look at this. 250 gold, 250 gold, 250 gold. The Church of 250 gold. I am a member for sure. I should have had membership card up here now that I say that actually. But yeah, shops are sick for Defect. Defect and the merchant are best friends. The shop relic slot is insane for Defect. Souvenir, runic capacitor, pellets, as well as having that like guaranteed power slot because of how influential and strong powers can be for the character. Definitely like having the freedom to path for shop, having that extra gold in the beginning. It's a big boost, and you have a lot of agency kind of in what you're spending gold in and using it to get stronger from the beginning of a run. So yeah, 250 gold, pick it. It's great. Love it. What else is doing good? Remove 2 for 7 gold, doing pretty good. Rare relic for damage, doing good, but it's only 3 games, so wouldn't think too much into that. And there's random common relic, all reliable. 70 games, 67% win rate, pretty good. And the ones I'm not picking, and this is with tons of games, so this is probably ones that you should be avoiding. 20% HP bonus, common theme, do not pick it at all. Random colorless, I hate rare colorless on Defect. Like, like it's a 50-50. You're getting hand of greed, apotheosis, bomb. If you don't hit those, you're pretty sad, especially if you're getting a curse. It's really, really not worth it. Potions, you can get potions anyway. For someone that does have a empty potion slot emote because of how often I seemingly hit 80% potion chance and don't get a potion for my first 3 fights. Maybe weird, but yeah, just don't do it. You're pretty likely to get a potion or two, and you're very unlikely to want to use a potion in your first couple of fights. And yeah, rare colorless showing up multiple times. 20% HP bonus showing up multiple times. Don't pick those. And then the two where you kind of get them anyway. Just pick a card and 3 potions. No. Yeah, and that's pretty much everything. It's the percent HP bonus, rare colorless card. Choose one of 3 rare colorless, and then the 2 things that you would normally get. And this is my sample with the most data, and this makes a lot of sense to me. Like, these are not good options. Don't pick them. And lastly, Watcher. Watcher, I would definitely say is the character where, looking to me specifically of the top players, data wise for it, is probably not the best. But we'll get it anyway. So we got 100 boss swap games in this data at 65%, is, you know, fine. It's okay. I like a lot of people are definitely getting to the point where they are playing Watcher in the 90% range. I definitely lose focus while playing Watcher, as well as make tons of mistakes, either due to that loss of focus or just not practicing her enough. And I will commonly skip playing Watcher within my rotations if I'm not going for like if I'm not on a streaker or something like that. So yeah, definitely I can improve with Watcher. So these stats may not be super representative, but they may be more representative of how you guys are performing, at least closer than the super. I mean, it also wouldn't be like that interesting to look at the differences if it was just like everything just wins all the time. Woo. Uh, but yeah, pick Common Relic a bunch, pick Now's Lament a bunch. Now's Lament is kind of weird on Watcher because you can deal with the early game anyway, but I definitely went through a phase where I was like, Boss Relic is variants. I don't want variants. I'm gonna pick Nails Lament even though nothing else looks good. At least I like don't have to deal with like sentries or something a third of the time. Um Yeah, like 7 max HP is one of the most picked. This is not a very big, not a very big data set at all. Like, this is not something I would pick very often, but apparently within this data, it's something I picked a bunch. Um, yeah, remove 1 card, pretty good actually. Uh, Morel's definitely popularized like removing and infinite based strategies, as well as an alternative to just like boss swapping every time, and both have performed pretty much at the same rate, the upper 90%. Very, very cool. And then rare relic as well. But yeah, you can almost do whatever you want on Watcher, and it'll perform pretty well because he is just that strong. But you do have to make sure that you are playing well yourself. And most of the time you lose on Watcher, it is probably your fault. And these win rates not being in the like 80s, 90s is my fault for sure. Player diff. Best performing. Neow's Lament being up here is weird because Watcher really doesn't benefit that much from it. Move 2 being up here makes sense to me. I think move 2 is pretty sick. Even 3 rares, like Watcher rares aren't super amazing, but I think this is more during the time where I did not want variants of boss swap, and you can get like Blasphemy or Lesson Learned, and there's like Scroll and Vault 2, of course. 100 gold, kind of just reliable. 250 gold for Curse is weird, but sure. For it to be like the best performing of the 250 gold, I think it's the worst of the 250 gold. But it's only 3 games. Not a big deal. Common Relic, 12. Pretty good, fine. I remove. And then the least big ones I just didn't really pick at all. The curse options. Yeah, nobody likes curses. Nobody likes percent HP. Transfer 2, I don't really like variants. These are all just the transform options. I definitely avoid variant. That was how I was playing Watcher at the very beginning for sure. And random colorless, it's okay, but kind of whatever. And yeah, HP bonus again. Cool. So that does it for all the 4 characters. If you are going to take any of it, kind of like super strictly, I would say the defect data is the one to take, and then take the like silent and ironclad data, especially the watcher data. It's kind of a grain of salt, just as a more general guideline. There's really not enough games to make strong inferences about it. But that is it for that. Cool. So I want to talk to you guys about a sponsor that I have for the next about 9 or so days. Hello Fresh. If you wanted a way to support me, clicking the link that I'll have in the description below is a really good way to do it. Get some pretty well priced food. I think that these kind of promotions are actually really, really well priced with the promotions and the sponsors and things. I think it's worth it each time that it comes up to try it out for sure. But you can pick the number of servings that you want for the whatever food you get. It's a meal subscription service. You get sent a box with however many meals that you want for that week, each week. For me, for the sponsor, as far as the sponsorship is concerned, if you just do it once and you like say you just did the 2 and 2, then $24 basically, $12 per meal, get 2 servings. And that's a pretty good price for like 2 people. You get 2 meals. Well, it's like four servings of meals for $12. That's a really, really good price, and you get a good price on food, and I get some money. It helps support me. Really, really good option. And the options for food this week look really, really good. So I was gonna increase the amount that I ended up ordering. But here are the different price points if you're interested. And then there is, this is from my page. Just want to show you some of the options from this week, which look really, really good. So yeah, check it out, try it out. Pretty good price food, and see if you like it. And I'll leave it on this. I love this watch remote so much. It's so good. But yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about the my Neow blessing stats. I want to share that with you guys, as well as let me know other data that you would be interested in seeing from me. I'm gonna work on getting the card pick rate data. There's definitely some formatting to do with that. It might take me a little bit, but any questions that you have about my Spy data that I could work on getting together, I'd definitely be interested in it and getting the practice as far as like actually doing it myself. And yeah, just let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching.